Hello everybody, welcome back to Yunus Cake Tips and thank you so much for joining me. When I look at the past, we have done so many of different birthday cakes, special cakes, beside the wedding cakes, and accumulation was so much. So it was quite necessary to put them, all those pictures, informations into the different categorizations. It was quite necessary. So I look at people, occupations, hobbies, activities, and so on, and then I organized about 20 different categories. So one of them was casino. So today I have a request. I will do a poker table, and I'd like to share this information with you, the progress with you, and maybe I'm hoping that you can pick up bits and pieces from that progress maybe you haven't seen before. These are the things that I have on the table, what we need. It looks like quite a lot, but actually all the things that you should have anyway if you're decorating cakes all the time. So, with the technology develops, we have always different new techniques comes along and we can make use of it as a cake decorators. Of course, we all know that printing on edible material is wonderful thing using special ink and special printer. So especially for casino teams, like we have to print the cards or poker chips, etc., it will be fantastic, useful methods. Of course, if you ask me that how would you do it without printing, I would actually roll the pastelage very thin for the poker cards, and then I will use edible pen, edible markers to draw the pictures on it instead of just using a royal icing or something else. All right, so that will be my second choice, but I will never do that if I have the printing abilities. It looks like something quite difficult to manage. That's why you have to order this kind of prints, but it is quite simple. All what you have to do, you have to find out first of all empty cartridge that you can fill with an edible print. So all those things actually supplied around, so you can search it from the internet, from online. And also when you find the cartridge, then you find your printer accordingly. Printers are very cheap, maybe $100 you can get it, but the cartridges is specially produced larger size. You can fill more things, there's a more paint inside. So we have that. Maybe we have a bit more complicated than that, but it is quite possible to everyone can organize something else at home. So I have those things on the table. It is, as I said, quite numbered, but it's all simple. I would like to explain now what I have, how to start with. All right, let's start from the idea. The idea is having a round cake, about 25 centimeters. I put this cover on it to protect from the humidity. So it is coated with chocolate, but actually in the mold. So I have I create a mold and then brush the chocolate inside the mold and then sandwich the cake inside there. I have a video for that. You should watch that before. So I have here 25 centimeter cake. It's about 125 millimeters, about 5 inch height and then 10-inch width cake. I need this height because when I put the tablecloth, I want to have a nice sort of like a tablecloth standing nice on the cake, not on the board. All right. So that is one thing. Of course, you don't see me doing this, but you may do actually different sizes or different weight. It doesn't matter. The idea is here how to create a simple cake with the poker theme. I have white chocolate I will use. I have some cutting for knives and plastic knife and also craft knife. Cellophane sheet I always use for piping. I have green and black fondant. Towel always on the table. Oil spray maybe I need. Starch, poking pins, water spray always here. A little bit of royal icing, and after that all those things over here, except this is rolling for rolling the fondant. I have those pushers, transparent pushers. I will explain you while I'm doing it what is it, and also I will talk about this is completely separately when it comes to the stage. All right, and then I have also rolled a little bit of it's very important that I roll the fondant earlier. It becomes like a much more firmer. I can cut pieces out of this. All right, so if you roll the fondant freshly and try to cut out the things, it will stick to the knife. It's not going to happen properly. A scissor, spoon for royal icing. I will use some ribbon around the cake after finish, and that's it. So let's get starting now right away preparing our poker chips. Okay, you can print on transparent transfer sheets, and one side is a matte color. This is the side that you have to print on it, and another thing is that we can use the sugar transfer sheets, which is like a You have to do this one in the right position, but this one has to be reversed because whatever we put over here, we will use the other side. So it has to be reversed. Otherwise, casino will read something else. For example, here, if you do it wrong, it will have a recop or casino on its ack or something. You have to put it reverse, to the writing will be correct later on. So I will show you a very first very simple method, and I will explain you other methods that you can also do it. All right. So cellophane sheet. I want to do something round. It is very simple. You just a blob of chocolate and push down in between two cellophane sheet. So actually one cellophane sheet. One sheet is the print itself, another cellophane sheet on top. All right. So I want to catch the time when I'm putting the blob of chocolate on it. I have to catch the time so I can push it down. So I don't want to do the whole lot. I just want to make the half first. All right. That's it. So in the middle, because I want to have it quite thick, so I'm going to go like quite a big one. So I target the white area. Okay, that's done. And I use a cellophane sheet, as I said, carefully placing on it. Carefully. All right. Oh, I like to do one more row actually because it's not half yet. And make sure you're not doing this on a cold tray, because otherwise everything will be set before you achieve what you want to achieve. All right. I put it on like that. Now I have these little things. If I have something large, I use something like that, maybe like a record or something like that. If I have something smaller, this is the smallest one. So I don't know what's this. I just collected last time from somewhere. I push it down till I get the right size. That's it. Half of the way ready. I'm going to do the rest of it and get back to you. Let me explain you, if you don't have that kind of possibility, what you can do. If you can print a sugar print, like sugar sheet, edible sugar sheet, you can cut the round pieces and place it somewhere like that. So this is that very common chocolate brain. So it comes with this kind of holder inside. That's a perfect size for that purpose. I will cut the sugar coins. I place them inside here, upside down of course, and then pour some chocolate over here, and when I pick them up, it will be all nice and easy. So this is another method I like to share with you. So next thing I like to do, my poker cards. Now the poker chips in the fridge. Now I'm going to do the poker sort of like playing cards. So if you will find in the market a very thin, flimsy one, sugar prints, and also you can find a bit more thicker one. So I don't have thicker ones. I wish I had it. Thin one. As soon as you print, you better separate with a nice and thin knife. And after that, you put a little bit of starch underneath, so it will be separated quite easily later on. All right, and it always comes in the plastic sheets like this. That one you can use for chocolate. All right, for chocolate. So I'm going to put some chocolate here. So that should be good enough. So when you see that all those, it's not straight, right? So if you take this one, get the movement a little bit. Just move a little bit like this. It will be nice and shiny and flat. All right. Okay, that's ready. Then I take this print, which is useful to put it on the paper. All right, like that. Go slowly. Don't leave any air bubbles inside. All right. I'll give another moment, so make sure it sticks nicely everywhere. That goes also to the fridge. Next step, I will coat the cake only on the side with a strip of fondant. So the cake is 25 centimeters. Let me measure again, maybe a bit bigger. This is already 24.5, 25. So 25 times 3.14, which is pi number 78.5. That's the circumference. But because of the thickness of the fondant, we have to calculate always a little bit more. Let's say about 82, which is just nice. A little bit more. All right. So after sometimes when I roll the fondant, I start dragging my PVC pipe over the fondant to make it larger and larger. So that is quite possible to do with this kind of thing, not with the wooden rollers. All right, that is already good. A little bit of air bubble here, which we can take it before we put it on the cake. Anything else? No. All right, so let's do it. First of all, a straight cut. That is straight enough. All right. I'm not going to cut the top part. I like to use the blade, but I like to make it a little bit longer than the cake, so we'll have a bit of comfort here. All right. That's it. Cut this one side straight. Not both sides, only one side straight. All right, now, that is quite wet because of the condensation. I don't have to put any other water more. If not, I will just spray a little bit water like this. So I'm going to roll this one this time only from one side, this way. Okay. Make sure that, what do you call, the board is dry, which is dry. All right. Okay, and then putting here on this side, and then slowly turning around. Stay on the base. That was enough. I can see already the joining part. That. I need something like this. Push this one this way, go around. Go around. Push the other way around to make it nice. Doesn't really to do much. All right. After that, I take a knife and cut over here like that, and then just clean up. We're gonna put the tablecloth on top. That's why I'm not worried about too much. Okay, make sure that it's nice and clean and straight cut. All right, like that, like that. The chocolate crust coat, which I always use for high cakes, is very good idea to do that. This chocolate crust coat. You can do it either in a mold, or you can also use your little soft scrapers and then go around. That's it. I'll put back this one, not to get too wet. All right, so I'm going to clear up now, and then I'd like to show you the preparations of the poker chips and the poker cards after I take from the fridge. Okay, this one, you don't have to take it out from the cellophane sheet, but you can just remove this one. Look at that. You see that because we pipe the chocolate only in that area, it automatically releases only the touching part to the chocolate, and the rest comes with the sheet, so that is not a problem at all. So we made this one ready already, and then these cards, because I put in the fridge, it becomes like a really nice and crisp. So I cannot cut with the knife, but what I can do, I will just mark it, and then just have a kind of like cutting the sugar sheet at the center underneath, a little bit of the chocolate, so we can break it after that. So what we need, 110. Okay, first cut all the diagonal cuts. 10, Jack, Queen, King, and Ace. That's done. So just go the other way. As you see, I'm not using a ruler. If you want, you can use, of course, the ruler. Okay, all done, cut already. So I like to be very carefully, just break this up. All right. Let me do this one first. That's it. There we go. That's it. All done. Now, what I like to do next is clean up a little bit, make some space, and start rolling my green fondant to make the tablecloth. Okay, I'm almost ready with the green. As you see, I start already gliding my PVC pipe. Now, I like to see how this tablecloth position on the cake. So I have here 25 centimeter cake in the middle. I will have around sort of, if I just cut over here like that, I will have around, let's say about 5 centimeter from each side, but I will have quite a lot from the other side. So that is actually just right what I have now here. So I'm going to cut this one straight here, like that. Straight. So if I have a round cake, which is not really too high, I would cut this round. But because I have a high enough cake, I like to have the edges go down, so that I'm going to make a square tablecloth, which makes it much more sort of like a nicer, right? All right, that's already good enough. All right, so let's go. Cake is here. I'm gonna put it like this by hand, because I want to get centralized nicely. All right. Is this correct? Yes, it is. All right. Now I like to make it like nice and sort of like a bit more control foldings. This has to go more up, like that. Right. Like that. Like that. Like that. And like that. So that's already what I want to do. As you see, that tablecloth is nicely organized on the top, and then everything else will be just nice. All right. Okay. Now, next thing is, I want to cut my little ornaments, which is the cards signs, which is like spear, and then I don't exactly know, like a heart and whatever. So I just want to do that first. All right. Using those pre-rolled fondant. They are nice and dry now. It's not really moving and stretching around, so I'm going to cut by hand. Okay, 3 of them I already cut, the last one. Just a free hand. Because the fondant is nice and stick on the surface here, not too much stick, I can just take it out, but it is sort of nice and stable, doesn't move around. So I'm just going to use by hand and do it like that. Okay. We're going to have 4 of each in each corner, so we need about 4 each of them. So 16 pieces. That's it. All right. I think when I remove that, it will come off nicely. Yes. Look at that. All good. All right. I'm going to now spray a bit of water here, turn upside down, and stick it on each corner. I'm going to do 3 corners, and last corner we do. Okay. Now, first I like to put this one, because the edge is matching to that other edge, the tablecloth edge here, and then this one on the right hand side, like that. Can be slightly overlapped, doesn't matter. All right. Now, next thing is clean up a little bit, and after that I'm going to place my ribbon here, and then after the removing that protection sheet. Okay, first I remove the sides, make sure that you're not cutting the cloth. The reason of using that protection sheet, I explained it many times, just to protect the board from the ganache and chocolate and all those things. So once the cake is finished, you can remove right there. Second purpose is to having another sheet underneath the cake which is not touching to the cloth. After that I cut just like this, and then after that just remove like that, just by tearing, not by cutting, just tearing. All right, that's done. Ribbon wise, need about, let's say about this much. Make sure I don't break anything over here. This much. And here. And here. How much? That much. Okay. Now, take it out. That's only the measurement. I also put a little bit of, just a small piece of double-sided tape at the end. All right. Choosing now, where's the front? That is the join of the black part. Which one is it? Where is it? It's here. And then when I look at here, this is short, this is short, this is a bit nicer, longer, it's a bit longer, it was a bit rectangular-ish. So this is the front. I'm going to choose the back of it. So, cake is slightly wet, so it doesn't matter, I just put it on. It sticks anyway. Right, and then remove that double-sided tape. Some double-sided tapes are really the pain, doesn't remove that paper from the sticky part, so that is a good brand what I'm using. I don't know if you live in Australia, I buy this from Daiso, Japanese sort of $2 company. All right, now the cake is ready. And then the tablecloth is ready. Now I like to add a little bit more flair to the tablecloth. I want to make little dots of royal icing exact on the edge. I will just start it, and before I finish, I'll be back with you. All those little dots are almost there. I leave the little part so I can show you how to pipe. There is the lower part of the edge that is underneath, and also there's an edge on the side. So I'm going to put it like right on the corner, not underneath, not on top, so just on the edge. So royal icing sloppy, because I want to create little balls not touching each other. If I keep them separately, it's much more sort of like pronounced as like little dots, and that's why I make it little sloppy. The sloppy royal icing becomes much more roundish at the end without any nose. So I'm just going to do that here now, very slowly. Small cut, because small cut, more pressure, you create better sort of like ball shape. Just target the corner. So I like to place first of all the cuts. So 10. I want to make it a little bit more sort of this side. 10. Jack. As you realize, I'm not really sticking anything because I want that the person who get this cake have a kind of chance to take it in the hand and just make some jokes and make some talking points. Even that the what do you call the chips, I'm not gonna glue it. So put them together on top of each other like that, and here. So just put it here, some on top, another some here. There. All right, even that is just a drop down, it doesn't really matter because it's just nice like this. All right, that's it. All right, now I have this location, I left it for writing. I want to use chocolate. The necessary writing over here, happy 21st. So that's it. Nice, elegant, simple, and then right to the point. It's a kind of casino concept, simple cake, which I want to show, which I want to share with you. So another thing that I like to say is I don't want you to get any kind of impression that I'm encouraging you to go to casinos or play gambling or something like this. I'm not. So this kind of things is only good for responsible casino visitors and responsible gamblers. So that is all from me, guys. Thank you so much for having me on your screen. God bless you all. Until to my next video. Bye for now.